tell you why or how to change it.
That's Facebook.
So weird. Well, since it's 1:30, I think that we'll get started. But before we do, I just wanted to read a land acknowledgement. As we gather here today, we acknowledge that we are on Treaty 6 territory and homeland of the Métis. We pay our respect to the First Nations and Métis ancestors of this place and reaffirm our relationship with one another. And I'm Jessica Rorson, and I'm working with the IBDS program and Sage Hill Community Futures. And today we are happy to have Josie back. She's done a whole host of marketing webinars for us over the last while, and she's excellent. So, and Jenny, if you wanted to just say hi.
Hi, I'm Jenny Glessman, and I'm with the Sage Hill Community Futures Office. Excited to have everybody here because we know marketing is such an important part for all small business owners, and being able to do some of these things on our own is incredible. And that is the wonderful world of Canva, which we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to turn it over to Josie. I'm a avid Canva user here at work and in my own small business. So I'm really excited to learn along with everybody else today. So I'm going to turn it over to Josie and she'll lead us away.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the warm introduction, as always. Yeah, I'm here to talk about Canva today. And if you missed it, for some reason, everybody's logging in and their name shows up as Jessica Rorson. So if you want, there's the 3 little dots in the top right corner, and you can just change it to your name. And also, if you don't mind, just putting your name and your business name or your business that you're representing here today in the chat. That's always really helpful for me going forward. So yeah, and at any time, just pop anything in the chat. We'll be watching to see if there's any questions, or feel free to just unmute yourself and talk away if you have questions. So yeah, I'm going to just jump right into Canva. I'm not sure if lots of people that are here today already have used Canva to some extent, or maybe just kind of checked it out and thought it looked interesting and then wanted to learn more. So Canva, basically, Canva is a digital platform, a graphic design platform that is used to create a wide range of graphics. And it can be anything from a simple letter that or a proposal of sorts, to sort of like flashy images and videos, and starting to create things for your website, etc. So there is a lot of tools in this program for entrepreneurs, and I think that it's a great place to start and to keep on kind of using, because this program is really wonderful, and I feel like they're really good at updating and adding more features. And yeah, so it's today I'm just going to be using the free version. So there is a free version and there is a paid version, and I can kind of explain the differences as we go through. I'll try to point out this is a paid version, or this is included in free. I should say there's a pro version, and then there's a free version. And then there are options within the free version that you can sort of pay for. Just, something that you want to use once, you can just pay for it and not have to have the pro version for that. I think that if you find yourself using this platform a lot and it's become a useful tool for your business, Canva is definitely worth investing in for your business. If you can fit it in your budget, of course. I'm someone who always tries to utilize as much as I can from the free program. I just like to see sort of like what I can get out of it before having to pay for it, and really try to figure out if I need those paid features. So I'm just going to head right into Canva. I'm just going to share my screen and go right onto my Canva account, and kind of go from there. I'll start by just walking through the program. And like I said, if you have any questions, just let me know. All right. So, perfect. Okay, so here we have the Canva homepage. This is sort of what you see when you type in canva.com. I should mention that the top uses for Canva are that would most likely interest you are things like creating posts for social media. So for both your timeline and your stories, if you use those features. It's also really great to create things for your website if you have a website, or if you just need it to make posters, to hang on bulletin boards, or to distribute flyers, brochures, things like that. Those are all uses that I think are, well, that's what most people use it for. And it's not just for content for social media. It can be for print. So if you don't have social media set up yet, or that's something that you're working towards, it can be used for other things, not just for social media. Anyway, so like I said, this is the home page when you log in, and basically on the left hand side, we'll start over here. So this, it just kind of shows a few quick buttons, quick access buttons. This is the home page. There's a templates tab and your projects tab. And if you see these little sort of yellow circles or yellow crowns, that means that this is a pro feature. So you have to pay for this feature. But there are sometimes things that you can use within that feature that are still free. So I'll kind of go through that a little bit too as well. The templates here, I'll just click so you can see. This is sort of where it can bring you to start to create. So this is one way you can get to find templates that you want to use for whatever it is that you're creating. That's one way you can get to that. Another way you can get to that is just through the search bar up here, or this design suite, as they call it, right at the top. It's where all these buttons are, and you can just click and then some sort of popular things will pop up, what you might be looking for. And yeah, so that's pretty much how you get to like the content that, or to a place where you can create some content. I'll just quickly go back to this left menu over here, and we have projects. So this is where you can see things that I'm working on right now, the designs that I have, maybe images that I have saved in here, as well as some folders that I have. With the free version, you can only have 2 folders. So if you're someone that likes to keep things organized, and maybe you have multiple businesses or things that you're creating for, you might want to consider the pro feature or the pro version to help stay more organized, but not necessary. On the left-hand side under tools, you'll see it has brand. And this is where you can go and input all of your information about your brand that you have created. So if you have your logo, maybe you have a couple of different versions of your logo, you can upload them in here. You can also put in your preferred colors that you like to use and your fonts that you like to use. This is a big reason why a lot of people get the pro version, because then you have access to this part. And when you're creating something, all of that information is just there for you, and you're not continually searching for it. And then we have the content planner. And so this is something that you would use if you're creating something, and then you want to have it scheduled right from your Canva account. So you can click the day, and you can add here, and you can select a template. The only thing with this is, again, with the free version, you only have the option to publish your content right now. you don't have the option to schedule it. So that's something that's included in the Pro version. But you can also schedule your posts other ways through Facebook platform itself. So you don't necessarily need it just for that, but it is helpful if you find yourself using Canva for the majority of your creating. So back to the homepage. Basically, there's a couple ways you can use the search bar. So you can search for things that are in your project, so things that you've been working on, or you can toggle this over to search for certain templates. So maybe you have a lot of projects on the go and you're looking for something specific. You can easily type it in there. And today, we'll be creating some content, and I just use the search bar for that. And it's as simple as wanting to do sort of like a Facebook post. We can just type in Facebook post and hit enter, and then it'll bring you to a world of templates that you can access to, that you have access to. So you can adjust these and edit these in any way that you want. So maybe there's just certain things that you like about them, and you can take them to a whole different level with just a few little tips and tricks. Yeah, so there's different sizes. So Facebook posts are just a little bit sort of longer, and Instagram posts are more square. And then you can find things for your story, which are basically like the long rectangles and things like that. You'll see here there's so many templates, and you can scroll and scroll. You can go on forever in here to look for something that kind of suits what you're looking for. You'll notice here at the bottom it says paid. So this one here where it says we are hiring, there's a little $sign in the corner. So that means if we were to use this template, there will be some items in there that would need to be paid for. And a trick around this is usually that I just delete those paid items right from the template. And I try to find a free sort of image or clip art from what's already offered so that I don't have to pay for them. If you see ones like down here where it says don't think too much, and it has the little crown, that's Pro. And what's going to happen is I'm going to click on it, and it's I could say use this template, and it's not going to let me access it because I don't have the Pro version. So the difference then, if we go back to this one, it opens right up in Canva for me, ready to edit. And then there will be a watermark on the item that is paid for, or that they're at. Oops. So here it's this megaphone with the arm. So I can just simply delete it, and I can find something else to put there. You'll notice, because if I go to hit share and I go to download it, it's telling me that it costs me money. So it doesn't allow you. It used to allow you to download and then have the watermark in there, but I think it might just depend on, yeah, so you can just go see here, it says pay $1.39. So we can easily just delete this, and I'll get into this a little bit more, but it's really easy to just search in here megaphone if I want to create the same type of look, and I can just throw something else in here. I'm just trying to see if there's one that, I could do this. And sort of to create the same effect if that's what I really liked. And then this, I can download it. It's free. I'm not using anything that's a paid feature here. But
so there's one question here. Are the templates or images copyrighted on the free items?
No, they're not. So like they're not watermarked or anything like that. They are good to go. I will show you here. Yeah, I'm going to go into an example of some templates here. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my home page, and I'm just going to show you some templates that you can find and how that they can easily be tweaked to suit your needs. And I have a few different examples, all sort of along the same sort of business, and it's called Sessions with Sandra. And so this is her business that I'm creating images for, and you can just kind of see what you can do and how you can make things all look very similar, very easy. And while we kind of walk through that, if anybody has something that they want me to walk through creating on Canva, you can just pop it in the chat. And then once we kind of get through a few things, then we can try to just create something that you want created, and can kind of show you how easy or how to adjust things that, how to adjust a template that works for you. So if I go into my projects here, you'll see, I'm just going to click on this one here. So this is, sorry, one. There we go. So this is a template that I found, and this is for an Instagram post. So I haven't changed anything. This is exactly how it looks right on the template page. And I think that this kind of is exactly the look that I'm going for. And so I'm going to adjust this template to suit what I need for my business. And so as you can see here, it just has all of the sort of info that they think that you should put in there. And it doesn't mean you have to put that in there. You can kind of put your own sort of things here. You don't have to put your website or your Instagram handle or anything. Like you can just, delete that if you don't want that there. So here's how I just edited that template to make it work for something for my business, essentially. So I just changed the email. I said that it's in Saskatoon, and I said I'm now offering a service, and this is going on Instagram. And so I kind of made it to look a little bit flashy. I have the images in there, and then I have just a little bit of a blurb that kind of sums up my my program that I'm offering. And then I have my Instagram handle. So this is exactly the same as the template, except I just swapped it over for my information. And so because I also want to do this on Facebook, and I also want to put this on my story on Instagram, I want to create the same sort of look for this program. So I found the same template for Instagram story. Here's the template again. And I just put in my information about Sessions with Sandra. And so all I did was just simply swap out the information on a template that I already really liked. And then here again, same thing. So for Facebook, it's just a little bit longer than the square post for Instagram. So I just adjusted it a little bit, which is not necessary. You could use the same Instagram post for Facebook, but I just made a different one because it was really easy to just take the information. I just copy and pasted everything that I had and put it into a template for Facebook. So I'll go back to the one that I made for Instagram here. So if I look at this here, you'll see that there's already these image placeholder or these images here. And because they have the Canva watermark on them, that means I have to pay for those images, and I really didn't want to do that. So what I did was I went over to the left side here, and where I have access to everything that I need to change my template, and I clicked on elements, and I went down here to frames, which are just basically your photo template, your template photo holders. And I picked one, and I just deleted the one with the watermark, and I put this in here because I was going for the same look. And so I'm just kind of throwing it in here, and I'm going to delete this one because I don't want to use that. And I'm going to just copy this one and put it in again here. So now I can, I've got my templates, my placeholders in, but you'll see when I did that, this little circle that had some text in it kind of got pushed to the back. So all you have to do is just kind of arrange your photo. So I just click on the image that I want to move behind, and I go up to the top right-hand corner here, and it says position, and I'm just going to click that and say backward twice so that the little circle and text comes over the image. So now that I've kind of got my templates in, I'm going to go into photos. And this is where I will admit that it gets a little tricky for the free version, because there are a lot of paid photos. And so you kind of have to search for something that you're looking for. Sometimes it can be hard because they will show up as paid. So for example, if I'm looking for a group of people talking, I'm just going to type that in the search bar. You'll see right away that a lot of them have the little pro stamp on them. So those are basically off limits for me to use with the free version, but there are lots of good free photos that you can use. It just takes a little bit more time. So if you have the time to sort of sift through some images, you can just scroll. And I found this one here with the people looking at the guy on the laptop, and I'm just gonna pop it in. So I just simply dragged it over, nothing hard. Same thing here. I'm gonna do this with this image and pop it in. So now I've got my two images that I wanted in there. And it's very easy to just tap on all of these other things that light up purple. You can just click on it, you know, backspace, delete it all, and type it. It saves the fonts are in there automatically, so you don't have to go back and change the font, unless of course you don't like that font style, or maybe you want to change the color, but you can just use it just as how the template is. And again, same thing here. I can just backspace the information that I don't want, type in my information, and there we go. So I didn't really do a whole lot. It didn't take up too much time to create something like this. And then basically, it's just then if you need to use this on multiple platforms, or maybe you want to create a brochure, you just kind of need to copy the fonts and the colors over into that document, which I can show you how to do here. Any questions about just the general updating of a template that's already made on Instagram or on Canva, sorry?
The nice thing I like too, and you might maybe you're going to talk about that later, is, but you can also so easily upload your own pictures. If you've got pictures that you snapped yourself, you can, it's the simplest to upload.
Yeah, you definitely can. And I can show you right now through this template. You go over here again on the left-hand side under elements, it says uploads. And here's all the images that I have uploaded and have put into my Canva. So something super easy for me to just drag an image across that I've uploaded and put it in. Super, super easy to do. There's the upload file button right here in purple for you to just go onto a file on your computer and upload them. It is very easy. This program has made it very easy for you to use the content that's in here, but also input your own content if that's what you like, images if that's what you have. Here we go. I'm going to.
We also have a question.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Jessica.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So the question is, when you find a template you like, how do you find matching templates for other social media?
Sure. So I'm going to go back to home here and wait for my computer to load. I'm going to search. We'll do the exact same thing here. So Facebook post. Actually, here, let's do this. Social media post. So when you're looking at these templates, you'll see here that each template has a name, and then it says right underneath Instagram post, and it's square. You can kind of keep scrolling through. You'll see here, this is for your story. So you can use that on Instagram. You can use that on Facebook. I think you could use this on TikTok because it's all the same, the long image. So when I did those ones, I searched the Facebook posts. Sometimes you have to just sort of do a little bit of looking around. You can also create a blank one. So if I found the one that I liked for a Facebook post, I can also just copy that over into a template and adjust it a little bit to fit the requirements for a different post. Let me just see here. So when you're scrolling through, you can see all of the templates that you have, and sometimes just looking through here to find, there is an easier way to do this. I'm just trying to think if it was.
I'm so used to the paid version where you can just hit the resize.
Right. I was thinking the same thing.
Yes. So I was going to say that is a bonus. Again, with the paid version, I do think that it's a huge time saver because you don't have to look for a lot of images because everything's accessible to you. It's not only free. You only get, X amount of images or whatever. And the other thing that you can do is automatically resize things. So you can just click it and say automatically resize to whatever from the list, and then it just does it for you automatically. You can also make things have a transparent background, which you can't do on the free version. And like I said, the schedule and the brand kit and more organization. But there are a lot of pros to the free version. I'm just going to see here because there was something that okay. so back here, I'm just trying to think. I think on the side here, you can do this a little bit different if you wanted. Once I've searched now, I think, does it allow me to check them? I'm just seeing here. Social media, okay. So for that one with the sessions with Sandra, what I did, which of course it's not happening now because these templates change so frequently, more are uploaded all the time. I might have just clicked all categories on the left-hand side, and it should mix them. I'm just not sure why it's not doing it right now when I'm trying to.
It's because we're watching you.
Yeah, okay. I think here, if you go to the design suite sort of like banner at the top and hit social media, and then go down to templates, it might be easier in the sense that you can sort of pick them out as you're looking at them. So maybe this one here with the real estate agent is sort of similar to normally there are like very similar ones that show up. So just let me see here. Social media. There we go. Okay, so I just clicked social media just on the side here for templates. And then you can see they're all sort of mixed in. So this one here, Educators Night, says that it's an Instagram post. And then if you keep scrolling down over here, this thank you one says Facebook post. So you can just sort of look for similar ones that look sort of similar. But say you don't find anything that looks similar. I'll show you how you can easily do it. And sometimes it's nice too to adjust them a little bit for each platform if that's something that you want to create a little bit of variety between the two. But here, let's go with this one on the left-hand top corner here. I'm just going to click it and it's going to open up. So this is one that I really like the layout of, and it suits my kind of my business colors. I'm going to just swap out the image and go over here down into photos. So that's another thing you can do with these is just drag over your image and pop it right in. You can't do that with the templated ones, unfortunately, the ones that you saw in the last one that had the Canva watermark, but you can do it with free images. So say I've got my new image in here, I'm just going to change this to say, and maybe I don't like this font. I'll show you how to change that. Up here, you'll see this banner and it says the font that it's currently on. And you can just click that and you'll see lots of font options. So maybe I want something that's just a less scripted. Maybe a little bit bolder. So I like that. I'm just going to take the size of the font down. And I think I'm just going to delete this because I don't need that. And I might just delete this little image here and say that's my image. So here's what I have for Facebook, for Instagram. I'm just going to change this. You'll see here at the top, there's lots that you can do. We can change this to say grazing for Instagram post. So then this way you can easily search it and find it when you need to post it. I'm just seeing here. There is something on here. So this one is animated. Maybe I don't want to have the animated part on there. And I think we can just delete it. But so if we go now over to wanting to make a Facebook post, I'm just going to use the blank create a Facebook post template. So it's just a blank canvas. And I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to select everything in this square. And I'm going to just hit copy. And I'm going to go back to my Facebook post and I'm going to paste it. And so this might look a little bit intimidating, but really you're just pulling the images or the things that were included in your Instagram post, and you're just kind of like pulling them over so that you get the right sort of style, the same style. And maybe we're going to just move them down because, like I said, this one is longer, this template, than the Instagram one. So I'm just going to select them both and just sort of move them down. I'm going to bring my image over. And you'll notice that the one thing, which is the background, you'll see it's like a white background. And on the other one, it was a colored one. So all you have to do is click this sort of brown peachy background and you'll see the little color swatch come up. You can click it and then you can just see exactly what the color is. This again, obviously is a little bit more complicated and I can go through this part again. I just copied it and I'm going to paste it and put it in there. So there's, you know, the similar image that I would have on Instagram. I now have it on Facebook. And sometimes because Facebook image is a little bit bigger, you could, or the template is bigger, you can add more to it if you want to make it a little bit different than your Instagram post. So maybe I want to say opening soon on my Facebook post. And then I'm just going to change this into something else, different font, make it big, and maybe change the color. You'll see on the left-hand side, when you tap that color swatch, it gives you colors that are already in the photo or in your template so that you don't have to search for photos to match. So maybe I want it to be this sort of brown color. And maybe I want my grazing code to be a little bit bigger because I have the room. And maybe I want to change it because black looks a little bit too harsh. So you can just adjust it like that. So now I have my grazing code. I'm going to change the name, Facebook post. So it can be done that way as well, but it is a little bit more complicated. But once you kind of get comfortable playing around with the program, you can, it isn't actually as complicated as it might look. Sorry, Jess, was that you?
Yeah, I was just going to say, one question said, how did you select the two items to move them at the same time?
Yeah, for sure. So all I did was, go back to the Facebook post one. I clicked on the one image and then on my computer, I hit shift and I click the other image and then I pull them together. You'll see that there's a dotted line around both images now, and that means they're both selected and I'm moving them both at the same time. And what I really recommend is if you're really particular and you like how these images line up together perfectly, a trick to keep them from moving or being able to move on their own is at the top right-hand corner, you'll see this button and it says group. And if you group them together, now they become one. So if I click on the white part, everything's going to move. if I click on the brown part, it's all moving. And you can do that, which is really nice if, you know, you're using a lot of different parts in here. And then to simply ungroup them, you just click it and hit ungroup again. So that's super, something that's like very helpful if you have a lot of moving parts. I'll show you here, like, for example, if we go back to the sessions with Sandra, you can click on the lines that I've got in place here and all of these, and I can group them together. So then that way, no matter what I'm doing, this will always stay together and it'll move as one. Because sometimes what happens is if you're fiddling around a lot with the things that you have on your page and you move the line, and then maybe you don't notice right away, or it takes a little bit more work to sort of get them like perfectly lined back up, or these things you've worked really hard to get them perfectly center and you don't want them to move again, then you can just select all of the parts and group them so that that doesn't happen. Same with this thing here where it says join me on Thursday in a little circle. This is separate. So say I wanted to kind of move this down. Well, now I have to move both parts, and then it's kind of harder to get them back. You've already worked hard. You've already done the work to get them perfect. It's so much easier to just click both of them and hit group, and then now it moves as one. So that's really nice feature. I use that feature a lot, especially if I'm doing something that has a lot of text. Let me see if I have something that I've worked on recently. Oh yes. Sorry about this. My project. I'll show you an image that, what's happening? My projects. Okay, so an image like this one here, for example, where there are tons of moving parts on this image. So I've got these string lights, I've got this overlay of sort of snow falling, and this, maybe I don't want these to move around and I can just group them back together. And then that way, when I'm sort of moving this other stuff around, it doesn't get lost. Like this all stays together as one, and then you don't have to worry about it. Or if it becomes too busy for you and you're trying to work on something else, you can kind of just move it off and over to the side to get it out of the way for a little bit. But my favorite thing that I use the grouping tool for is the text, because you work hard to place the text perfectly. It's all perfectly spaced out. And now I can just move this all as one, and I don't have to worry about any text getting out of line and me not noticing it before I go and post it on social media. So definitely a good feature to use. If I go back to the sessions with Sandra, another thing that you can do, or actually, where was the, go back to this grazing one. Say I wanted this to be more of a background image behind there, and I didn't want this color, I can stretch, I should have done that a bit slower. You can just grab the corner of the image and stretch it out so it's the size that you want and kind of move it exactly where you want it. But then you'll see in the top right hand corner, there's this transparency, like little checkered square. You can click this, and then this can make the image so it's a little bit more transparent. So say if I wanted to add more text on top of the image, I can do that. And so I'm going to group these back together so I can kind of get these placed And I can just add in, if I want, just for sort of ease sake here, I'm just going to add this one in over top. This is a text grouping that's already been put together with certain fonts. So I'm just going to say grazing box, and then, you know, maybe I'm using this for my price list, but you can you can add this over top of your image that you've made transparent. So it's a little bit more than just a solid color background. And so that was very easy for me to do. Maybe I've decided that the image is actually my focal point. I'm not going to make this a price image. I'm just going to delete I'm going to just select and delete these, and I'm just going to make it a full image again. And you'll see you can just grab, and you can also make things smaller this way as well by just grabbing the corner, and very easy to just move things around. If you look over in the elements, there's lots of things that you can add to your image to make it feel more full, or if you're wanting to sort of add in like a border, you can grab some lines and you can pull them across and sort of make your own border. I'll show.
There's a question there while you're just in there,
Yeah.
Josie.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere on these templates, images, that lets me know what the resolution or pixels per inch are if I want to print instead of upload to the web?
Sure thing. So I can show you that. I'll just finish this here. So all I did was copy this line 4 times because it's the right length and color and everything that I wanted. Maybe I can adjust it. But for today's sake, I'm not going to adjust the color or anything. Make it shorter. So I can just as easily add in a little border by just inserting lines and shapes. So there's tons of lines and shape options. There's also lots of graphic options. There's stickers, photos you can use for backgrounds, charts, tables, frames. So something to definitely just look through and see if it's something that you, or see all that it offers. So going back to the pixels, when you go up to the right-hand corner where it says share and there's a little export button, if you click there and you hit download, you'll see here that it says that it's recommending you save it as a PNG, but you can save it for JPEG, you can save it as a PDF, a video if you have those sort of video elements to it or any sort of moving parts. And when you click PNG, you'll see here, these are the pixels that the image is going to save as. If this is something that you're really particular about and you're using this more for print, that's when the Pro version might be a better option, because I don't think this is much of an option. Yeah. So you can't actually change the pixels or anything like that unless you have the paid version. So basically all I have is the option to download and change the file type. Okay, any other questions so far? I guess we're almost at that time.
Just on the note of the paid version, I think I just upgraded at our business. It's like $146 for the year. It's like 12 something a month. It's probably one of the cheapest programs out there that if you're doing lots of posters, I use it for a lot of town stuff too. If you're doing posters, if you're doing video, like posts for Facebook and stuff, it's probably one of the cheapest resources out there.
And I think too, like, I look at it in the sense of saving time. It those things of make if you have Instagram and if you have Facebook and all of these platforms that you're wanting to have these images for, the resize feature alone is really wonderful. It's a big time saver to not have to scroll through a bunch of templates and photos to find the free version. But if you have time, a little bit of time to do that, and you get efficient at it, of course. But there are definitely really good features. And yes, like Jenny said, it works out to be $12.50 per month if you get the year subscription. If you just pay for it just monthly without the subscription, I think it's around $17. So you're definitely saving a couple bucks if you sign up for the year, and definitely something to keep in mind because this is a very useful platform for creating images. I'll just quickly go over to it, but before we have to sign off here, but something like if you want to create a poster or a brochure, those take a lot more work if you don't have a program like this. And what you can do and how you can make a more sort of flashy or engaging poster is with these templates. So say, let's see, I'm just going to type in up here like event poster, just so you can see, because this is something that you can't create on Word. Or you can, but it will take hours and you'll pull your hair out trying to get everything to line up properly. But you have an event coming up. It's very easy to just click this. It's already poster size, and you just kind of have to make it your own by changing the information that's in there and maybe a few other little things. My computer just takes a little bit of time today to load this template, but I used to have the Adobe suite, so which was Photoshop, InDesign, all of those programs, and that was running me about $70 to $80 a month alone. And so once Canva came out, I quickly canceled that subscription and used Canva because it's a very good program, and I definitely recommend it for small businesses. I just want to show you on an image like this poster here. You can click on this bulb that they already have on this template, and you can adjust the color. So maybe you're doing something and you like this bulb image, but you are doing sort of like maybe it's blue and gold. Well, I can adjust this to make it whatever kind of colors that I want it to be to fit with my theme. So there are some really good templates for free. This is a free one that you can just sort of update and change. And then, like I said here, you can just download this. Say this is a poster. I'm going to download it as a PDF, and then I'm just going to print it, and it's done. And I don't have to worry about formatting it, as long as it's just everything else is right, like your paper size and stuff. But it's very, very easy to use. It just takes a little bit of time to kind of like get to know, what are your priorities using the program. And you'll notice back here, if I go into here, you'll see if I click on the font, it actually saves my recently used fonts. So these are most likely my common fonts that I use. And I also just have a little book where I write down my favorite fonts and my favorite colors, so that it's easy for me. That's one way that I get around not having to have the paid version. So there are ways around it for sure.
I think there was a question with the free trial for 14 days. Does it allow you to download premium pictures during that time or use those premium pictures?
I think there are some, but I don't think it's the whole thing. Like there are features that you can use. So it kind of gives you a little taste of it, but it doesn't give you the whole suite either, I think.
I agree.
From what I remember.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting because in that search bar, like I've looked up things like press release, infographics, anything, like any possible thing, business plan templates, anything, they have it. And they look good and they're so easy just to manipulate, like you said.
I'm just looking here at the question that someone says, I have Adobe Photoshop subscription and all this is included free. So I'm just trying to decide if it's worth it for me. So you mean like with those programs, you can access all of that stuff on Adobe, right? I think that's
yes.
Yeah. And so I think for me, I just felt like getting the paid version of Canva was worth my money a little bit more, but it really depends what you're using Adobe for right now, and what the purpose of that subscription is, because Canva certainly can't replace Adobe, because that is a very intense program and there's so much available in there. But if you're just needing sort of like the basics of being able to do things for social media, for your business, this is definitely a good route to take because it's not as expensive, but it doesn't replace Photoshop, that's for sure. Photoshop is a very good program.
I also, one last thing I just wanted to say is I've done a few things where I'm uploading videos, and then there's a really nice tool in the pro version. I'm not sure about the free one, but you can go and cut and edit video right in Canva and then put them in a little picture bubble. Like, it's unbelievable. I should, I don't work for Canva, but I mean, seriously, it's a good
I know
program.
it's very like, I don't want to like promote getting the paid version in the sense that I don't work for Canva, so it's not, but it is a good program, and they are changing it frequently. There's always lots of updates in the sense of like more things are being added for you to access. The video part is like a whole another thing. Doing the videos, that's new, I think. Hey, like I think that was just new just recently, where you can edit videos right in that platform. Yeah.
And their pictures are they have very good pictures as you're doing seasonal stuff. There's even in the free version, if you dig around, there are lots of good pictures. Does anyone, I hope this answered lots of people's questions. It is a program, like Josie said, you've got to get in and play. And it's easy to download and to look at it and decide if you like it or not. So does anybody have any other questions?
And while we're waiting, just so everybody knows, there is a survey that will pop up after when we close this window, and we look at all of your answers. So just to be able to offer workshops that are valuable to you. So please go ahead and fill that out when we're done.
Awesome. Well, I would have loved to cover so much more. I probably could have talked about this program for hours, but definitely, like Jenny and Jess said, just make a free account and sign up for it, and just get in there and see if it's something that you see yourself utilizing. No harm in doing that at all. And I think you'll find that it's a lot easier than you think to sort of make some flashy templates and stuff. So thanks again for having me today.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
We are back on December 6th. We have 2 more for the year. December 6th is photos and videos, right?
Yes.
And then we have December 13th talking about business expenses, which isn't as exciting as today's and that, but feel free to join us. And thanks everybody for coming out today.